Welcome to the Cozy Con Corner. We're your hosts, Grace,
Dorothy,
and Bekah.
And we have a very, very, very special guest this week. If you would introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Jalitza Delgado, also Fangirl Productions on TikTok and Instagram.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Welcome to the podcast. This is my good friend, Jalitza. Or can I call you Jelly? Is that
Yeah, Jelly works.
Call you Jelly. Okay.
Yeah, Jelly always works. Like Jelly always works. I'm always happy with that.
Yeah, like our good friend Jelly. I met Jelly at Fan Expo Dallas 2 years ago now.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And ever since we've been friends, we keep in contact, and I love Jelly so much.
I love you. I literally right before we started, I was just like talking about how kind and loving you were whenever we first met at Fan Expo. And you were Ray Todoroki and I was Ochako, and it was just you were just so kind, and I was just like, oh, I love you. And then we were hip to hip all weekend.
Memories that we're going to be discussing later. But in the opening, we call this our character development. So just to get to know your character development, Jalitza, what is some of your favorite cons you've been to?
My favorite cons have been, of course, Fan Expo 2018. Or 2019?
2018?
2019. No, my bad. 2019.
What happened in 2018 that I don't know about?
Oh, the world's
better than you.
Oh my gosh.
I'm struck down.
The world has just fallen apart. I'm so sorry. So Fan Expo 2019.
Oh, thank God.
IkiCon 2018. That's where I got the years flipped. And My Hero Con 2020. And there was one more. Anime Fest 2019.
Ooh. Wait, are all of these in Texas?
Yep. All of them are in Texas.
Yeah, I've never been to any of these cons, and I thought I went to a lot, so.
I was trying to figure out where these were.
Right? Yeah.
I've never heard of any of these.
Yeah. We only heard of Midwestern cons.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to Midwestern Con, so it gives me an excuse to go to one.
Yeah, you got to come up. Like Anime Central or C2E2. You're always welcome. I'm just saying.
Yes.
You always have a room here.
Yay!
Love to have you. But before we actually started the podcast, Jalitza was talking about food trucks. If you want to explain how this conversation brought up about food trucks.
Yeah, so in Texas, food trucks are at all conventions. So you usually see like the same 4 or like 5 food trucks at every con. And so I saw them today when I went to the Japanese Spring Festival here in Fort Worth. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this reminds me of like con season. Like these are all the same food trucks. I'm so happy to like see them again, eat them again. And then Grace was like, we don't have food trucks up here. Like you don't ever see them at cons. And I'm like,
I was so confused. I was like,
walk around the block just for food.
yeah.
that shocks me so much because I'm like, that was like the quickest way to get food at a con here in Texas because they have so many food trucks. So like that just blows my mind that there's no food trucks up there for a convention. It's so convenient.
Yeah.
We don't have that. We have malls.
The only time I went to a food truck at a con, it was like 1 a.m. at the convention. You're right, like pretty much everything was already closed. We were walking back to the parking lot, which was like 2 blocks away. Like it was quite a walk back to the parking lot. There were all these bars open, and then there was just this food truck smack dab in the middle of one of the parking lots. Like, it was so sketch, because there were all these drunk people at the bars, and then there was just a food truck, and my friend and I were so hungry, and we were like, dude, they have tacos! Risking our lives in these goofy costumes surrounded by drunk people, we went to this food truck. Very different experience, I'm guessing, than your guys' food trucks.
Yes, but that also sounds like such a fun experience. And we're like, you know what? It's fine. I'm hungry. Just let's go.
Yeah, we almost got attacked, but we didn't, so...
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm just saying, those taco people, they're geniuses. When people are drunk, they want to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like, and they're hungry. They want to munch on something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it helps. Geniuses. Probably. Are they like there for like, it's like 1 a.m.? Do you know how long they were there for?
I don't know. It was like a mysterious food truck out in the middle. I really mean it was smack dab in the middle of the parking lot, out of nowhere. I bet they did not have any rights to be there. Like they just showed up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just appeared there, and you're like, oh, hey, we're hungry. This thing is here.
It's like the next day we were like, was that a dream? Like, did we really do that?
The taco truck fever dream.
Oh, yeah. That's what you dream about, though, at a con, after not eating the whole day, right?
Honestly, okay, that or a fry truck. Like, if a food truck has fries,
yeah.
it's a wrap for me. Potatoes are, like, my favorite thing to eat, especially during, like, a convention. So, if there were, like, a potato, like, food truck, or just, like... So, in Dallas, there's this other food truck that comes, and it's Dallas Grilled Cheese Company, and it's just all these different types of grilled cheese. So delicious. 10/10 if you ever come to like a Texas con, have to eat one of those. They're so good.
Gotta load up on carbs right while you're at a con, right?
Yeah.
Always. It's that one meal that you eat a day during a convention, and it has to be a grilled cheese.
Right?
I'm so bad. Like, so most vendors, I'm gonna be honest, we don't eat anything till dinner. Like, we don't eat anything. Like, we'll have like a granola bar in the morning, or like some nice vendor will bring us snacks or a donut or something, because we all love each other. So like we'll starve till like 8 p.m.
So like,
and we'll get a good dinner.
Katsucon on accident.
Yes. Yes.
It was like 1 a.m. when we got back to the hotel, and we're like, hey, we haven't eaten all day. Let's just order something.
And then it's gone in an instant. Yeah, but like, I don't know. Everyone always gets a lot of food, so then we could have leftovers to eat it during con. That's how it goes. If Friday was a good day, you get a good meal. If Saturday was a good day, you get a good meal. If Friday was a bad day, you're getting McDonald's. Period. You're getting McDonald's.
Hey, sometimes that McDonald's tastes extra good. If you haven't eaten all day,
Oh,
McDonald's
yeah.
tastes like
It tastes like you've never eaten before.
Yeah.
Food trucks. I just think that's crazy.
yeah. Man, I wish.
Yeah, I want to go to a Texas con. I know Colossal Con is having a Colossal Con Texas now, and it's apparently like the biggest water park in the country. I want to go.
I want to go. Dude.
Yeah.
Right?
The Colossal Con they built here is in Austin. So, or it's like right above Austin. It's like a little north of Austin, but I heard that con will be poppin'. So I'm like, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't had it in Texas before. They have a couple Colossal Cons now. I've only been to Prime, the one in Ohio, like their first one. So, not like the first year, just the first, location.
Wait, you went on the cruise one for Colossal Con.
Oh yeah, I also went on a Colossal Con cruise.
There's a cruise?
They only did it twice, but yeah. I don't know if they're gonna keep doing it. I hope so, though. It was bomb.
I've never been on a cruise, and I would love for that to be my first cruise experience.
Yeah,
It was
awesome.
so good. It wasn't like a convention on a cruise, which is what I was hoping for. It was a cruise as if there was an anime club on board, like a really tiny anime club. And so we had a couple little events that we got to go to. It was still a blast. It's still a cruise.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That still sounds like so much fun.
I would still go, so...
Oh, yeah. Awesome photo shoot opportunities. A cruise ship?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my most liked Instagram post for a long time. It was me in front of boats. Possibly swimsuit. It's true.
Okay, wait, one thing I have to know. Did they have shuffleboard?
I don't think they did.
That's not a cruise ship.
They had a lot
That
of
is not a
random
cruise
events,
ship.
though. Look, they had a lot. They too.
Okay.
They had a most handsome man contest on the boat. And,
That's awesome.
and like
but
a
can I
dance
just
party.
say, in every movie I've seen with cruise ships, there was a shuffleboard. These are my expectations. I want one shuffleboard on that cruise.
Look, you don't need the shuffleboard, and you got the good food. And I thought it was going to be dirty, honestly. I thought of a cruise ship, I thought it'd be, like, unkept and, like, kind of, like, crowded and, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't. They kept everything super clean. I thought, too, buffets can be a little bleh, right? No, they were intense about making sure you washed your hands before you went to the buffet. They had a guy out playing the guitar, singing "Wash Your Hands" before you could go into the buffet, and all these sanitation stations set up. This was before COVID, and it was super clean. So you don't need shuffleboard.
Got it right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I want to learn shuffleboard. I've never done it. At the end of the day, I just want to play shuffleboard one time in my life to be happy. Like,
Fair.
there's those weird things that you see, and you're just like, I want to try that.
At least
One of them
once,
is jumping out of a plane for me. That is also another thing I want to do.
Yeah, I want to do skydiving too, for sure.
Okay, this is like totally random, but my mom did this auction thing with my aunt's work, and one of them was a skydiving thing, which we won. So I'm actually going skydiving at some point this summer.
Wait, what?
Oh my god!
I forgot to tell you guys, but there you go.
Please be careful.
What? Okay, you've kept skydiving from us? This is like some kind of crucial information, lifelong dreams for some people. And you now when did you find out? I need to know, Bekah. Like, I need to know when you found out about this.
A while ago? I don't know. I don't remember the date.
Wow, a whole while ago, Bekah. Hurt.
Wow.
I only remembered because you brought it up.
This is what our friendship is now? Keeping skydiving secrets?
Hurt.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Yeah! The Bekah fan club is hurt. Jelly. Let me tell you about this great fan club we have. It's called the Bekah fan club. Bekah, plug your ears. You can't
Okay.
you can't know about this, okay? This is a secret.
Mm-hmm.
But
She has
Bekah
no idea.
is the mascot, okay?
No, Bekah is not just the mascot. She is the club. The club is for her because we are her biggest fans. We love her.
Dorothy's the president.
Yes,
I don't know what am I
clearly.
the vice president? I don't remember.
Yeah,
what
you
I
can be
am.
the vice president.
Yeah, and then my dad's the treasurer.
No, not the treasurer.
And he makes the Bekah soundboard. But, you know, if you join the Bekah fan club today, you get a Bekah fan club pin. Would you like to join?
I am 100% a part of the Bekah fan club. Let me be a part of this.
Welcome.
BFC.
Welcome.
BFC. Let's go.
BFC, that's good. Well, it's a really good abbreviation. Looking good for the running for the new vice president. But we'll see.
Wait!
I don't want it. It's okay. It's okay. It can be all
Are you
gracious.
trying to steal?
I will be the cheerleader of the
job?
group. I'll be the cheerleader of the group.
That's good. That's
we
good.
need a cheerleader. Oh, this club is coming along so well.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of this, we're gonna have every guest be a part of the Bekah fan club. Yeah, Bekah, you can come back.
Oh, yeah. I totally left for that. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Bekah. We like you a normal amount here.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Only a normal amount, especially because you kept that skydiving secret from us. Especially because of that.
The president of the fan club knew, but it's beside the point.
Wait, are you telling me? I'm gonna keep going off about this. We're gonna drop this now. We're gonna be talking after this. If Dorothy knew and I didn't know.
Oh. Nothing gets past me, but that's beside the point.
Oh my god.
Let's get on with the podcast, shall we?
Vice President's feeling betrayed. Everyone's out for my job nowadays. I get it's a great job, but find your own. Come
Yeah, I heard somebody was jelly of the job, so look out.
But why don't we get on with the stories?
Woo.
Jelly will be telling theirs, and then me and Jelly have a story together, and we'll see what happens. But, Jelita, if you will take it away.
So my favorite con story to tell is My Hero Con 2020. And this was right before the pandemic hit. It was in January. And I was super thankful that My Hero Con came to Texas because it's usually like in Alabama or Florida. So it was its first time in Texas. And when it came, I was like, I immediately needed to apply for panels. Like, panels right away. So I signed up for 2. I did my Boku no Hero Jeopardy.
Ooh.
And then Class 1A Family Feud. So, exactly, the titles were great, it's funny, we scripted some of the stuff, but all of us are really good at improv, so, it just worked really well. So, the first one, usually my panels are successful, I've done it for A-Fest, and it, sold out the room, people were waiting to get in, my panels do really well.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, and so... The reason why I love my HeroCon story is, Friday we did the Boku no Hero Jeopardy one. That one did pretty well. All the seats were filled. Everybody had a good time. But it was Saturday when we had to do the Class 1A Family Feud. And I had to do a panel for my friend right before it. Or it was 2 hours right before that one, which was a dating game one. So I was in Froppy for the dating game, but then I had to switch into Ochako for the Family Feud. So... As soon as I, finish their panel, I run to the hotel, and I change into Ochako. And as I'm changing, my friend calls me, and she's just like, hey, how much more longer are you gonna be? I was like, I'll be there in, 10, 15 minutes. Why? She's like, because the line is wrapped around the convention center for Family Feud. And I was like, shut up, you're lying. I was like, shut up, you're lying. Because, the room only held... 150 people. And so that line had to be 300 people, 400 people max.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I was like, you're lying. Shut up. And she's like, no. The convention staff had to come to the door and start corralling people. This panel is popular. So I was like, oh crap. So I'm rushing, I throw on my wig. We're running because we stayed in the Omni and the convention center was so close. It was running distance. So it was fine. Mm-hmm. So as I'm running back to the con and I go upstairs into the con room, I see just this giant line. I'm like, they're not lying. So
it's not a lie.
It was not a lie. Keep in mind I have this Sonic cup with me. Just that I'm gonna wrap around with that Sonic cup in a second. As I go towards the front of the room, one of the main con staff, the director of programming, was at my door, and he's like, hey, are you Fangirl Productions? And I said, yes, that's me. And he's like, great. Can you run this panel 3 times? And I said, excuse me? They're like, yeah, exactly. I was like, excuse me? And he's just like, your thing is wrapped around, there's enough time before the next panel. Can you run it 3 times? And I was like,
oh, wait.
Oh my god.
Whoa. How long is your panel, first of all? Before you even start, how long is one panel?
45 minutes.
They want you to run this 3 times.
Yeah.
So, what is that? 2 hours and 15 minutes?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
Please tell me you got compensation for your badge. Please tell me. They compensated you.
It was a 3-day badge. I had a 3-day badge, and that was that.
Oh, that's good. At least they gave you the free badge.
Yeah.
And it wasn't you didn't qualify with enough hours, and then they made you do 3 more hours and then didn't give you the money. That's what I'd worry about. So.
Oh, no. Texas cons are very kind. Even if you have just one panel one day, they'll give you a 3-day badge. Texas cons,
that's really nice.
Yeah, Texas cons are super great.
Wow, that's good.
So I was just like, sure, that's fine. And I am the person, whenever I do panels, I give away prizes. I go hard for my prizes. There's always something from Box Lunch. There's always something from Hot Topic. I do really good prizes.
Oh, nice.
So I had to figure out how to distribute 3 prizes worth.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah. But it worked out well because something told me that, something told me whenever I was shopping, it was buy more stuff just in case. So I did have 2 extra prizes and stuff. So it worked out well. But I'm sorry if you can hear my dog. But
it's fine.
Yeah. So whenever I was divvying up the prizes, my friends were helping me set everything up, and then they were just started getting the line flowing. And so as I am separating the prizes, I have the Sonic cup. Before I left the hotel, I filled it. There was some cherry limeade still in there, and I put a nice splash of Tito's vodka in it. So I was really nervous because they're asking me to run this panel 3 times. I was in the hotel. My friend said there was a line out the door. I needed something to calm my nerves. So I take a big swig of my beautiful Sonic cup, and I'm like, let's do this.
Your cherry limeade, in quotations.
Yeah,
with
that'll make you
nothing
go
else
fast.
Yeah.
It made my brain go burr. Like, I
Oh,
was
that's good.
so happy. But yeah, so we did the Baku squad versus the Deku squad for Family Feud. Midnight was the host. It was really fun, and we all started passing around the Sonic cup because we could tell that we were all like getting really angsty about like the panel itself. So we drank from the Sonic cup. We were all having fun, and then it was the second time when the panel, the director of programming came to me. He's like, "Hey, like everyone's loving this panel. Can you run it again?" And I was like, hello?
Hello? What are you asking of me at this moment?
I know. I was like, okay, don't know how we're gonna do this, but okay, that's fine. Luckily, they didn't ask us to run it the fourth time. They were just like, hey, can you not? Or like, and so we were just like, yeah, we can do it if you need it. But I think My Hero Con 2020 has been my favorite convention, and I wanted to go back this year, but they're doing it in Alabama. So I'm not going to do it because I don't want to go to Bama. But if they
How
do...
far is Alabama from Texas?
Like 10 hours?
Oh gosh, yeah, no.
Texas is big, so I mean, I'm sure it's a huge difference depending on which spot in the state you are.
Going
right?
from where I live to Alabama. That's a long drive.
Yeah. Well, because just to get from Dallas to Houston, that's 3 hours. And then Houston is closest to the border towards, like, Mississippi and everything, and that's another 2 hours. So it's, like, roughly, I want to say it's, like, between a 8 to 10 hour drive to Alabama.
Wow.
Yuck.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
you don't have
but-
to go.
Exactly, yeah. But they said that they plan on coming back to Texas, so once they do, I'll be more than happy to throw my hat
Run
in the
another
ring.
panel again. Let's do it again.
Oh, I'm so
Fifth
ready.
and sixth time is the charm. Oh no. The first 4 times were great. The 5th and 6th though. That's
the
where
fifth
it
and
really
sixth
hits.
is where the crackheadery comes out, because I love my friends and they love me, but there comes a point of delirium whenever we were doing the panel, especially with our Sonic cup. So you have like Kaminari going hard. My friend was Momo, and like she had Haribo gummy bears, and she would like just take the gummy bear out of her shirt and be like, oh, I'm making, like, I have gummy bears. I know I can't make food, but I have them here.
I feel like she's pooping food then. 'Cause that's what the stuff she makes food out of.
It truly was, and it was so
Yuck.
funny.
Momo, no.
Oh, it
Like,
was
what
great.
were some of the like Jeopardy and Family Feud questions?
So Jeopardy, I had it set it up like different categories. So I had a category for like pro heroes, the extras. Oh gosh, I forgot. I totally forgot. I made it so long ago. But my favorite thing that we asked in the pro hero category, because it gets everybody every time, and it's the question of what is President Mike's real name, and our people in our panel, we have a Kirishima and a Denki always. So immediately whenever that question is asked,
Presentation
they
Michael.
both stand up and go, they do that. They do that every single time, and it gets everybody every time.
Oh, that's good.
So that's my favorite. And then with the Family
That's not
Feud, we
his
had to
real
make it a
name.
little bit
That's all that came to my mind also. I was like, obviously.
best.
Nope.
It's the best joke. I love it. And then with Family Feud, we did it a little different. So we decided to create Kahoot as a Family Feud. But the levels of difficulty went up, and it was chaotic. There were so many chaotic questions in that. I can't even remember. Oh, I remember. It was like, who is the top of Class 1A? What is like half of Class B's quirks? Like, it's just chaotic, and it's just random and difficult, and we love it. But I want to bring back the Family Feud one. I want to ask questions on like Instagram and stuff and get people's like the survey. Like, I want to make an actual survey for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I just need to get 100 people to make, like, I just want 100 people to do the survey, but I know how long it's going to take. So I'm going to bring that back formally, and I cannot wait.
That'll be fun.
Mhm.
So it's really cool. It's it's just a My Hero Academia con then? Were there
Yep.
other types of panels that weren't My Hero Academia, or was it all seriously focused on just that anime?
It was all My Hero themed.
Oh,
It
wow.
was it's called My Hero Con. They have and the greatest thing, the fact that it was in Texas, is because Funimation's based in Texas, so they got a lot of the actors. There was Caitlin Glass, there was Brendan McInnes, J. Michael Tatum, Kyle Phillips. There was just so many people. Just because it's Texas, it's home, it's easy for them to get to and fro. So I definitely, it's one of the best cons here in
You
Texas.
seem very salty that they moved it to Alabama because you keep bringing up Texas. I can't blame you.
I'm an advocate for Texas when it comes to conventions, so it makes me a little upset that they decided to go to Alabama.
Oh, putting on the accent. Okay.
Gotta do that southern accent. But
We're gonna get some hate for this one. She doesn't mean it, Alabama guys. She doesn't mean it.
All you Bama listeners, I adore you. I specifically adore you. Your state, not so much, but you, I adore you.
Oh my gosh, I think it's so interesting because you've done really big panels now. That's awesome.
Yeah, seriously.
And last week we talked about cosplay contests, and now we get to hear from a panel person who does big panels and had to do it 3 times.
Yeah, that's
was it 4 times?
crazy.
Was it 3 or 4 times?
It was 3. They asked us to do it additionally. Or maybe I think I'm getting it twisted. It was either they asked us 2 then 3 or 3 then 4. Again, I was a little intoxicated. So
wait, you did it 3 times though. You did it 3 times.
yeah.
Okay. There was no 4th.
No.
At least not that you can remember.
No, I know for a fact there wasn't a 4th. It's the 3rd where I'm a little blurry.
It's just gone.
I don't know. By that point, we were all just like, let's just go with it and wing it. Because of course I have a script that we follow in the beginning, but by the 3rd time, we're like, just wing it. We'll be fine. And we were. Everyone loved it, enjoyed it. I'm super thankful. I love running panels. It's just my favorite. And literally during quarantine, I wrote down so many different panel ideas, that we could do whenever cons do come back.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just going to be great because I just, I want to, talk about it, but I'm like, ooh, no, you're going to have to come. Or, when it gets announced and if we do get it, we'll let y'all know. But it's
that'll be fun.
it's definitely something that we want to do.
Yeah, we'll be front row seat, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna be in that front of that 300
all
person
3
line.
times, also.
3 times, yeah. We're gonna get back in line.
We'll leave early to get in line again. So we
And
can
if
be
they try to catch us, we'll change cosplays. They won't recognize us.
Yeah.
This is
My favorite
Shout
thing to
wings.
do is, be because my friends, they love to support me too, but, they also come help set up. So they're like, oh, we're with the panelists, and they just sit in the front row the entire time. No one kicks them out because they're like, we're with the panelist. So that option's there.
Let me just start doing that. We're with the
Yeah.
panelists. I don't know who the panelists are, but we're with them.
Definitely. If I start guesting at cons too, I'm gonna need a handler. So let's go.
Oh, have you seen these hands? I can handle
They're
anyone.
beautiful, immaculate, dainty. Let's go.
Okay, that's the first thing I thought of when you said handler. I was like, oh, her hands are pretty nice.
Oh.
I'm very proud of my hands. I think they're gorgeous.
They're beautiful.
I buff
Thank
them
you.
every 2 days. They're beautiful.
If you want a really good handler,
I got
maybe
you.
look around a little bit first. But
And for all all listeners, this is a listening platform, but we are all on video chat right now, and
We're looking at each
beautiful,
other's hands.
beautiful hands are just going upon the screen, and it's wonderful. I love all these beautiful hands.
yeah, don't email us pictures of your hands. We don't want them.
No.
That's not what we're asking for.
It's okay to not do that. We'd prefer
Yeah.
if you didn't, actually.
We like our own hands. We don't want to look at no one else's.
Oh, but may I say with the panels thing, so I've run panels too. Not that good, not that big, but I've only run them at tiny cons.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
ran one at Colossal Con. one time, but it was a 10 a.m. panel
Ooh.
on a Friday.
Oh.
So yeah. But hey, it was still fun. But I've been so desperate also to run more panels. I've been collecting merchandise, like cheap merchandise that I can get to give out as prizes. I have a whole drawer in my room dedicated for that. It's like full.
I feel that so hard. I'm like, discount clearance, like, let's go. Like, that's all I need. So I feel that on a spiritual
You guys
level.
are so ahead of you. You're like, I'm ready.
I have been ready.
That's awesome.
You have to be ready, because once those cons come back, it's gonna be a club, another club, a bus. Like, it's just gonna
The
be...
amount of applications I'm gonna fill out. I'm gonna be on it.
Same. And I'm gonna start applying for, like, out-of-state cons, too. So that's what's gonna really be intriguing.
Do you typically not go to a lot of cons outside of Texas?
I've only ever been to one.
Oh.
And that was Atlanta. Because I got into the con scene in 2018.
Oh.
So Atlanta Comic Con 2019 was my first con outside of Texas. And it was so much fun. Like, I had fun at Atlanta. I used to live in Georgia. Like, I felt at home there. And I met some wonderful cosplayers there, too. So it's just...
My friends went to that con.
You went to Atlanta Comic Con?
I didn't go to Atlanta Comic Con. Heck no.
That's you just...
I said I have friends.
Oh,
Okay.
I also heard I went to that con.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
Oh.
oh.
We all heard that, except for the person who said it, so...
I actually could have said that. In my head, I said my friends. No.
We'll play it back later.
I'm gonna listen as I edit, see if I said it.
She's gonna re-edit it in to make us look stupid, guys. Like, re-say
I've done
it.
that. No, I've done that.
Not surprised.
I've edited out so many of my mistakes. It's so great.
You said the power.
I do have the power. If I make a mistake, I will edit it out in a heartbeat. I'm like, no, they don't need to listen to me stumble over words for a good minute. No, it's okay. I'll just say it once and I'm done. So, anyways, continuing on. Now, it's the story of Fan Expo Dallas. Memories.
What a good old grand time.
Like I said in the beginning, that's how me and Jelly met. And that's how Jax, who our first guest was on the podcast, we all met there.
Oh.
I met Jax in Louisiana, but they went to that con and we met up. But Fan Expo Dallas is a huge con. Okay. But one of the best things I will always remember about this con is literally the convention center is built into a graveyard.
What?
Yeah. Like, you walk outside, there's just graves. That's, like, the specific one thing I remember.
It's on a historic landmark. So, like,
You
the
can't
historic landmark just happens to be a graveyard.
Just, just in the middle of this thing. Just like, oh, hey.
And then there's graves. But yeah, that's like the highlight of that con for me, because that's how I remember that convention center as. Yeah, so that whole weekend I was in My Hero Academia, and then so was were you in My Hero Academia all that weekend too? No, you were in Khaleesi.
That was the last day. That was Sunday. But Friday and Saturday I was Ochako.
Yeah. So Saturday, the con planned a meetup for My Hero Academia, and no one knew about it though. It was in the schedule, it was on the website, but no one knew about this meetup. So all of Friday and Saturday, me, Jax, and Jelly, and then another one of our friends, advertised for this meetup. We were like, are you going to the meetup? Are you going to meet every person we met? We asked if they were going to the meetup. When it came time for the meetup, everyone knew about the meetup. Now, the problem with the meetup was no one knew where it was. And on Friday, we looked through the maps, we looked through the websites, we talked to every person working there, asking where they were doing photo op, because they had different meetups. There were so many other meetups other than My Hero, so it was like, where are they doing these meetups?
So it just said the time on the schedule then, and what it was?
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
And then it was like, it's like you go to the photo op area. There was no photo op area. Like, they labeled everything on their map, but there was no place labeled photo
Just
op.
made that up. And we're like,
Yeah.
There's like a secret passage to get in, to defeat
Yeah.
a monster and
there's
crawl
a secret
underneath.
door.
There it is.
Who knows? That was what we did all of Friday, is we asked people who work there, and then, like, that was all Friday. I don't know, like, but no one could give us a straight answer. And so they're like, well, we'll know by tomorrow.
Sure.
Next day hits. We go to ask them again. Everyone gave us a different answer.
Oh, no.
Everyone. Some were saying it was outside. Some were saying it was in the hallway. Some were saying it was in front of the autograph area where all the celebrities were. And there was like this little area with a backdrop. And that's where a few people said that was. And one of the main information providers that was their job, was to give directions and information, was like, yes, this is where the meetup is. I'm like, are you positive? They're like, no. But this is where it is.
Well, no.
But you see, people are gathering right here, so
Like, how do
it's
you
here.
not know? That's the job.
And no, I think the reason why they chose that is because there was a backdrop. There was a backdrop there. So they're like, yes, this is where the photo ops are going to be. Perfect. No, not perfect. No. This is when the mess begins. Because we were telling everyone now to go to that area.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, once again, this con is huge. Gigantic.
Like, what would you compare
And there
it
is
to?
Like the convention
Like-
center itself?
How big the con is.
Like 3 elephants, 2 houses.
It's like 6,000 people, right? I think it's like 6,000.
Well, that's a lot of elephants. Okay.
No, that's not. It's like it would be 60,000 or 100,000.
No. I think it's 6,000.
No.
Are we talking
No.
about wait, are we talking about a full weekend or for a full day?
I'm talking about a full weekend.
Oh.
That's how they measure it, is how many people they get in a weekend.
Is it
Ticket
like
sales wise.
I think it's 6,000, but
It's
let's do our handy friend.
6,000. You just look this up.
I'm like handy friend named
Sorry,
Google.
I thought you guys had figured it out.
No, that's how they get vendors, is they tell you how many people they get.
Yeah, I have no idea on attendance.
50,000. Yeah, so 50.
So a couple more than 6,000, but I think it's clear who was closer.
just
Yeah.
a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah, so
Just a
Yeah.
wee bit.
If you just round it up. Couple thousand.
that was in 2014 though. It says it's in 2014, 50,000. So it got popular. I think 60,000 is correct now.
Yeah. Fair.
Anyways, where were we?
The meetup. Is that this backdrop place?
Yeah, in front of all the celebrities.
But keep in mind, it was all the My Hero voice actors.
Yeah.
It was right in front of, like, literally, you have all the tables, like, and there's just multiple areas, but all the My Hero celebrities were, like, right here, or, like, we're right here.
We're right
then
in front of the area.
The stupid little backdrop was, like, right here. And
It's a lot of people in one place.
Ugh.
In front of a place where people go to line up.
So all 60,000 of them were there in front of the backdrop, then, right?
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Wow.
you're getting it, Dorothy.
Yeah.
Yes, all 60,000 were fans of My Hero Academia. and
My
they were there for the
goodness.
meetup. So you can imagine how hectic it was. Because people, like when we told people, they told people. And so the word spread. Because no one knew about this meetup. We were the ones telling everyone about this meetup. Like, we got there, I don't know, like half an hour early, I want to say. And there were already, like, some people milling around, but they were, like, waiting for autographs. So we kind of just, held down the fort, I guess. Anyways, as, like, minutes passed, people were coming in droves. And it's just getting more and more congested. And at one point, the backdrop almost falls. So now 50 of us have to move this backdrop because there's too many people. So we had to move it back like 30 to 50 feet, I want to say. So we dragged it all the way across. I think someone got trampled during that also, not gonna lie.
Oh no.
We told them to move. That was the thing. We said, we're moving it. We're moving. And whoever didn't move was a casualty, and that was on their own volition, and I stand by that statement.
And then people kept on coming up to us, asking the questions about the meetup. And we're like, we don't run this meetup. This is the cons meetup. We're not the ones in charge of this. But then everyone's like, but you're the ones that told us about it. You're the ones that told us about it. We're like, yeah, because it was in the schedule.
You accidentally became in charge of this huge meetup.
Yes. On accident.
Oh, man.
Truly.
Because we loved the fandom so much. We told everyone about this meetup. And so everyone's like, oh, I guess you were in charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Grace and I looked at each other and we said, well, guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
And then Grace,
Oh my
with
gosh.
her beautiful, beautiful voice, started yelling. And she goes, all right, this is what we're gonna do. A giant group photo. Everybody go. And like everybody hoarded together. And
okay,
then,
but you're missing out on some key points before this moment.
Oh.
You're missing out on the chair. You're missing out
yes.
on the wall.
I don't remember the wall.
Your friends.
Ah, my
Yeah,
friends.
yeah,
My
yeah.
sweet, sweet friends.
Yeah. So, because no one could really know what happened and could hear me as well, I was like, okay, I need to go get a chair or something to stand on so people can know what to do and know what's happening. Because no one knew what was happening. It was just a mess. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get a chair real quick and borrow a chair from the person over there so we can actually have some kind of order. I go up to the security guard and I'm like, hey, man, do you see this crowd over there, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, it's for a meetup and they can't understand anything I'm saying. They don't know what's happening. Can I borrow your chair for the next 15 to 20 minutes to get this going? I will bring it right back, I promise. He's like, well, I can't do that. I'm like, why not? He's like, this is the convention center's chair. I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
And you need to control this crowd because it's a fire hazard at this point. So the only way that you're going to do that is me standing on this chair to do this. This was a 5-minute argument between me and him, arguing if I could take this chair for a few minutes. And he's like, okay, you can have it for a few minutes. Make sure you bring it right back. And this man wasn't even sitting on the chair.
He was just standing next to it? He wasn't even
He was
using
not.
it? He was just like, no,
Yes!
I'm standing next. You can't have it. This is my emotional support chair, so no,
Yeah.
I can't let you have it. Yeah.
He likes to have it close at all times.
I
Just
have
in case he
separation
wants to sit
anxiety
down.
from the chair.
Yeah.
So, no.
Yeah, but so I came back with a chair, pull it up. I did the whole thing, like, 5 minutes, we're going to start the meetup, and blah, blah, blah. Well, at one point, Jax sits down, okay, on the chair. They were dressed in Bakugo. Well, our other friend, who was dressed in Todoroki, they were also tired. They're in our group, so they just sit on Jax, okay? Everyone just starts screaming. They're like, oh my god, Bakugo and Todoroki!
Ooh, I don't like that.
Like 100 people are flipping out over this. Jelly was standing right by the chair.
I think my face was just like,
Are you
why?
serious?
I was like, why am I here right now? Like, this is embarrassing. Like, I love the fandom. Like, I love My Hero, but these children sometimes really make me go home at the end of the day and take a nice swig of my Sonic cup. Like, that's truly how I felt.
Yeah, and then like our friends were getting really anxious because everyone's all of a sudden crowding them and yelling at them. Because some people were like, no, that's not right. I don't like that. That's like no, they're just
know
sitting.
Each other. They're just sitting down.
They were standing all day.
Stop it.
And then, Jalita, do you want to explain the whole friends with the wall thing?
Yeah, so I have two wonderful friends. They cosplay pretty heavily Kiribaku, because that's just their dynamic. So they were dressed in Pro Hero Bakugo and Pro Hero Kirishima, and they were just by a wall talking and flirting, because that was their dynamic at the time. And these lovely, lovely prepubescent teens see this and go feral. they're like, oh my gosh, it's real, LOL, like, ha ha ha, like, kiss, kiss, kiss. Like, and they were chanting for them to kiss, making them visibly uncomfortable. And keep in mind, the voice actors of My Hero is just right there. So I'm like,
look bad. Stop
guys,
it.
like, behave. I was like, behave. Like, I don't know how to explain. So my poor friends had to leave. They're like, we were here for the meetup. We see that this isn't a nice setting. So they were like, I gotta bounce. So they left, and then the children followed. But that's the second half of that story.
We're getting to that part.
That's the worst is when they follow you. Oh no.
It gets worse.
Finally, we're getting through all these photos. Well, the people who were there for like a more serious meetup and wanted more like personal photos and like with a smaller group because there was just so many people. 60,000 people at that meetup, you know?
All there at the same
They were
time.
all there at the same time. They only wanted, they only wanted 1,000 people at that meetup, you know? Like,
there were so many people. There were two
not
people on
expecting.
each shoulder. Everyone had 2 people on their shoulders.
It truly was like
Stacked
that.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, after that meetup was over, a bunch of the older cosplayers, some of them were like, hey, can we go have our own little meetup outside and take some more professional photos and stuff and get some good photos with everyone? Because, like, they wanted to get photos with everyone. They just couldn't because of how packed it was. And so we're like, yeah, sure. Well, you can tell anyone you want. We're just gonna go. Julie, do you want to take it from here? You can take this from here. Because it's kind of blurry in my mind at that point because I was so overwhelmed.
It was, I remember. And so the 3 of us, Jax, you, and me, were like, yeah, like, let's just go. Like, let's just hope it dies out over here. Because they were doing that, they were doing that Todoroki thing. And we're like, okay, we, like, bounce, like, go. So we disperse. Once they noticed Grace and I disperse, everybody was like, oh, the leaders are leaving. Like, okay, it's time to, like, break it up. But some of these children are like piranhas and just didn't want to let go. So as Grace and I were going outside, we had like, I want to say 15 to 20 of them follow us outside. And yeah, it was just like, hey, that's not cool. Why are you following us? Like, we're just trying to do our own thing.
We want to get some stuff done, like.
Yeah, so we all went outside, but then they noticed that, like, we try to be really secretive about it, so, like, we kind of, like, disappeared for a minute. We're like, okay, you go that way, we go that way. We'll meet back up in, like, a few minutes whenever they, like, stop following us. So we did that, and then they started to disappear a little, but some of them were still outside, but it wasn't too bad anymore. So we headed back, started taking some more pictures, and I was hanging out with my friends. I know you were doing TikToks, so like
I was
just
passed out on the grass. I'm not gonna lie, I was so tired.
I was like, I know that you did some TikToks, and then you bounced. Like I didn't even see you.
Yeah, I was so tired. Like, it was so much.
Yeah, and then they found out that we were outside, and then they got butthurt. And then people were like, well, why did you, like, leave? Like, that was so uncool. That was so uncalled for. We're like, we just needed fresh air and just to get out of there. Just to, like, ease some feelings. But, yeah. It's exhausting running a My Hero meetup. Like, it's so exhausting. I had to do it for ACON 2019. And I passed out in the heat. Because, like, that's how exhausting it was. I'll do anything for this fandom. I do adore it. But, dang, My Hero meetups are no joke, and I praise Grace. Grace took, honestly, all control of that meetup, and I was just there to assist. But it's exhausting. It's so exhausting.
And that was not the last time this has happened.
It's not. It wasn't the first, and it won't be the last.
Yeah, no, it actually wasn't the first
sounds
either.
Like a lot of work. I don't want to put that much effort.
Because, like, everyone, like, wants certain ship photos. Everyone wants certain photos.
Yeah.
I'm like...
And I laid down a rule at ACON 2019, because my friend... that's a whole nother meetup story. Basically, we knew the person that was supposed to be in charge of it literally 2 hours before that happened, she came to me and my friend, she's like, I can't do this. I don't want to do it. And she left. She left the con. And so then my friend, so my friend and I, we straight up were like, we need to save this. Like, there's no other way. So me and her made a list of all the pictures that we want. We only made it 30 minutes because it was in Texas heat. So it was like probably 105 when the meetup was supposed to happen. And so we kept it such a small category of photos that we were like, all right, we have like everybody, class 1A, class 1B, the extras, villains versus heroes, pro heroes. We kept a very like narrow list.
Yeah.
And then we were done. We're like, no, if you wanted to do shit, and everyone's like, wow, the meetup was so short. We're like, well, you guys are here, so if you guys want to do any other photos, go ahead and do it. But we're
not in charge anymore.
Yeah, it's not worth the energy. And that's what I've learned now. Yeah. And especially watching you at Fan Expo and like doing A-Con, I'm just like, don't waste time on your energy for people who won't listen, especially when it comes to ship content. So I just was like, wrap it up, done. I'm bouncing. And as soon as like I left that area, I was in Pro Hero Chaco, and I love my girl. But that skin suit is not meant for heat. And so I just went boop on the ground, and everyone was like, are you okay? And I was like, I need to go to Med Bay. So they took me to Med Bay and hydrated me, but yeah.
Like, a lot of the costumes in that show are not warm weather, like, suitable. Like, they're all in long sleeves.
Oh, no. I did a photo shoot. Yeah, I did a photo shoot in Hero Deku. 90-degree weather. This guy took me out into the bright sun. No shadows, no shade. Oh my gosh, I was so hot. I cut the photo shoot short after 10 minutes. I was like, I think I'm done now. I just left.
For sure, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but otherwise, Fan Expo is a great con.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was just a little unorganized at that moment. Everything else was great.
Yeah.
Just that photo ops part was a bit sketchy.
And I do want to add in that we have nothing against young people going to cons.
You said, not at all.
You didn't start going to cons till about 2018. I went when I was like, not young, but I was like 13. So I wasn't a child, but I was a child. You know what I'm saying? Like awkward tween stage. Yeah. And I was the awkward kid who went around, and if I saw a ship I liked, I'd be like, hey, could you guys hug for a picture? Can you guys do something ship? I wouldn't chant kiss, but I'd ask them to do something shippy for a picture. And, but yeah, I was that awkward kid, and just like, if there's, younger people or children listening, like, no hate towards you. Don't feel like you can't go to cons or that you're annoying. It's just these certain people at conventions who happen to be younger.
It was the environment. I think that was the main thing.
It was the environment, and then also I think it's more of mannerisms and just people not having that education yet. So, of course, as long as someone educates you and learns, especially around that age, 13, and they're like, hey, that's not okay, and then they respect that and learn from it, I don't mind a minor around me, but, like, it's learning that mannerism that really I care about most. So I'm not hating on 13. I'm not just like, ban you from a convention. Like, no, that's unfair.
Yeah, I feel so bad because people give such bad rep.
They're
especially my hair, the young ones
sometimes.
But there were so many nice ones. Like, oh god, they warm my heart. They make my weekend. They're just so every once there's those moments that they just don't realize. Yeah, it's part of growing up. It's part of growing up is a big thing.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Oh my gosh, it poured right out of my mouth.
And it's tough too when you got a huge crowd and everybody starts chanting and doing this or that. So you're like, oh, I guess it's okay because everyone's doing it. Yeah. But in reality, it was never okay from the start.
I don't know, one of my biggest regrets that I think about to this day, after that meetup was done, I was like, cosplay is consent. Oh, and then someone's like, don't you mean not? I'm like, oh my god, no, I mean cosplay is not consent. Because I was so out of it.
Oh yeah.
And I was because they had signs everywhere that says cosplay is not consent. And I
you just skipped over the one word.
Good job, Grace.
But I think about that messed up moment. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I said that. But I was so tired. I was like, and then I apologized. I'm like, guys, no, cosplay is not consent. Do not listen to the last minute I just said. Cosplay is not consent.
Yeah.
That just haunts me from that con. That is, that's one thing I always remember that I regret. Okay, well that about wraps up this episode. It was
Yay.
so lovely to have you here, Jelly.
It was lovely talking to you guys, honestly. You guys always, like, every time I'm always vacant on Discord, but when I do pop in, like, you guys just have such a great energy, and I just love being around you guys. So I really
Yes.
hope one day I'll be able to go to con in person with all of you guys, because I just think it'd
That
be
would be fun.
such a fun experience.
We do try. I mean, have you seen these hands? We're gonna
I
go
mean-
back to this.
They're beautiful. Let's go.
But yes, thank you everyone for listening. Please look forward for next week. Please follow us on our Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, CozyCon Corner. Also email your own convention stories at cozyconcorner@gmail.com. And also, Jelly, what is your social medias that you can follow you on?
Yeah, my social media is fangirlproductions.cause, both on TikTok and Instagram. If you wanted to follow me on Twitter, you're more than welcome to. It's Jalitza, so literally it's, and then Jalitza, Jalitza. And yeah, there you'll find out my voiceover journey and see what episodes I'm in and what I do.
They're in
Oh.
Horimiya, guys. I'm just saying this right now. They are in Horimiya, and they're so good. I love you so much.
I know. I play Remi Aisaki in Horimiya, Shuri in Kuma 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 Bear, and I do additional voices in Tamiyomi, Fire First, and you'll find out another one in like 2-3 weeks.
Yes. I'm so happy for you, though. But I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and bye.
Bye.